Morning, everybody. Shawn P. Greene, the Shawn P. Greene Show, ShawnPGreene.com. Oh my goodness, what a week already! Seems like it's just nonstop. Yesterday was all about planning for the Great Lakes Christian Film Festival. So many phone calls, so many appointments, so many plans, and it's great. It's an exciting moment. We're about 5 months before the event. Actually getting closer to 4 months. Really close. September 7th through the 11th. We got some great things planned. And we need fun. So shout out to anybody who's a sponsor that is willing to come out and help support what we're doing. Some cool things are coming up. I'm developing some applications, affiliate programs. There's a lot of things that I got to do, and I just want to make sure you guys are informed of what we're doing. So you gotta make sure you go to the YouTube page, go to ShawnPGreene.com, and you can actually subscribe to when I have new posts coming up. So we're going to share the screen here real quick, but yes, I'm wearing the same shirt as I wore yesterday. Makes it seamless, like it was just done. Brian Higgins is shouting out Buffalo's birthday yesterday. I didn't even realize that. There's also a big news in regards to a company that's been around for a long time, and it's called Holy Culture Radio. It's basically a Christian hip-hop site that has been around since 2003. I created something almost right after that called Flavor Radio Network, or Flavor Radio at first, among other things. So we had a lot of, friendly competition over the years, but it doesn't matter. holyculture.net is the place to be on Sirius XM radio. Sirius XM channel 154. As far as I understand, they're live right now. They just came on. So they announced back in May that they're on, and anybody who's into Christian hip hop, this is a big thing. Now, this should have happened 14 years ago, if not sooner, because XM radio was competition with Sirius Radio over 15 years ago, before they merged. Now they're the conglomerate that they are, but we had a lot of opportunities for Sirius XM to have programming that was exclusive Christian hip hop. Instead, we just had people kind of like doing their own thing, and mostly it was gospel, or it was contemporary Christian or Southern gospel channels that they had on these networks. And even now that they're merged, there's only really 3 Christian stations that play music, and they got a couple Catholic channels, because it's probably the biggest division amongst the Christian faith is the Catholic faith. So they launched this morning. As far as I know, they turned it on. So they have all these options now to listen to Holy Culture Radio. And there's a good story about how they started. If you want to go to holyculture.net, but they're all over the place now. It's so exciting to see this happening. So anybody who's in the Christian hip hop is excited about this. Holyculture.net, and go to Sirius XM. It's Holy Culture Radio. Sirius XM channel 154. So, great news, big news. Happy for him. Maybe one day I'll get a show on their network. Who knows? And Brian Higgins also is one of our representatives here in Western New York. Tweeted about Buffalo being having its birthday yesterday, and I don't know how old our city is. Be honest with you. Let's see what it says, if it says anything. By the way, our weather is crazy. It's been going up and down all week, but it's been windy and it's been raining. But we didn't get all that snow that came up the Northeast a couple days ago, so we're happy about that. So Brian Higgins, one of our representatives in the Senate, shouting out Buffalo. That's about all I have on him. Not really posting anything too interesting other than the birthday for our beautiful city. Buffalo we got something going on too as far as interesting news. Now, I'm a Navy veteran, so stuff that happens in the Navy sometimes will get back to me some word on what's going on. And a really big problem we have here, we have a naval park. We have a military and naval park. It's like a memorial, basically. We have three Navy stations or ships that are parked or docked right in the canal leading out from the city of Buffalo to Erie County or Lake Erie. And one of the ships, the USS the Sullivans, USS the Sullivans, not the USS Sullivans, but USS the Sullivan, DD, retired Navy Fletcher class destroyer, DD 537, had a major problem. We'll go to local news, WGRZ, and this started happening, I think, last week, where Monday they were supposed to be working on. Monday they were going to work on this, the hull of the ship, and something happened. It started sinking. Look at that right there. All right, we're in the second week of work to correct the listing and partial sinking of the USS Sullivans along Buffalo's waterfront. There's been some messy weather to deal with in the recent days as crews work to assess the damage and come up with a solution for the plight of the historic museum ship from World War II. All right, so it has some war history behind it. Things seemed to be brighter yesterday as far as weather. It was pretty decent, but man, it is windy. I mean, they call Chicago the Windy City. Buffalo is the Windy City, in my opinion. So this 80-year-old ship started sinking right there on the pier, and they had to stop with the, taking out the water from the inside. They started that process, but then some of the oil in the hydraulic fluid started leaking out, and so they had to stop pushing the water out because it was mixing with the oil, and there was no way to clean that up. So they are now containing it, and eventually they're going to start working on this thing. But this is no longer a Navy vessel. It's retired. It's decommissioned is what they really call it. So it's no longer a part of the U.S. Navy's responsibility to care or take it, because normally what they'll do, they'll scrapyard it, or they'll cut it all up and use the metal for anything else. They'll recycle the metal. So it's pretty sad. It's a sad story for us people who are loyal and faithful to military activity, or at least in tune with it.
Some updates this afternoon regarding the USS The Sullivans. Crews were able to do a lot more today after a rough day yesterday. You remember with the weather. Ron Plant's back down at the Naval Park, joining me live now with what is going on there today. I'm sure they're happy for the sunshine, Ron.
Yeah, Kate, I heard you and Maria talking about it at the beginning of Most Buffalo. What a difference a day makes, definitely, down here on the waterfront. You may recall on Monday we were dealing with sleet. Yesterday we had some of the high winds, and they were also causing the water to be a bit higher, in particular on the back of the ship. But today, with the sunshine and the fact that that seiche, that's again that effect with the waves off the lake, the fact that that's a bit lower with the wind, no wind today, that is allowing them to actually get divers in the water. From what we understand, there are two divers right now. You really can't see them from where we are, but photojournalist Terry Belke is going to get a little tighter on the ship. They're actually on the back of the ship towards the stern on the port side. And what they're looking for is any damage, any kind of a rupture in the hull, any kind of a breach which would cause the water to come in. We don't know what they're finding at this point. Here's something else that's kind of interesting. The Coast Guard actually brought in an underwater drone, and they were trying to use that as well to try to check the hull. But we understand that did not work out as well as they originally hoped, so they took the drone out of the water to try to use it again at some point. But definitely they have those divers that are in the water now checking the ship. Also, we're going to point out that what else they did today was they actually tightened the mooring lines. Those are the rope lines there that secure the ship to the pier. That will allow them to make sure that there's no undue movement of the ship, and that perhaps could jeopardize the divers in the water. So that's why they wanted to do that, and make sure that the ship is more snug, tighter against the pier here, and would not roll or anything further. That list, actually, that was the degree of angle. That's also, from what we're being told, perhaps a little less pronounced than it was yesterday, and that may be perhaps a sign of progress. But again, they're being very measured in their assessments of how things are going here, because they want to be careful. They've been disappointed before. So again, today, some progress with the sunshine out here, and hopefully we'll get an update as to what they are actually seeing in terms of the hull in the coming days.
So you get the idea. We have, little drama going on within the, the military slash veteran community. We're not used to seeing any kind of military news in this area, because it's really not a very large area that it is, as far as where the three ships are. But um, it's a prominent feel around that area because of how the canal side, is what we call that area, is designed now. It's basically a place to hang out. It's right next to the Key Bank Arena, which is where the Buffalo Sabres play, the Buffalo Bandits. Plus, they do almost all rock concerts, WWE wrestling at the arena right there near Canal Side. So it's a tourist attraction for sure, right next to our marina, in the in little walkway that you can go to a lighthouse and a tower and kind of see around that part of Lake Erie, where Lake Erie and Niagara River connect. So it's basically, it's a sad day, and it's a privately owned ship that's not owned by the U.S. Navy. So they're the ones that got to take care of that, and the people that own it, and it's costly. They finally raised money to overhaul it, and then they were going to start working on it 3 days ago, this Monday, and then last week it started sinking. So it was very poor timing. I mean, we could have had that taken care of if if it was only just 5 days later. So So it's a sad day today for Buffalo tourists, tourism, and for U.S. Navy veterans and military who are very, hold that close to their heart. This situation, but other than that, everything's pretty good. Still a lot of wind. It's overcast today. Little rain on and off. But we didn't get the snow that the middle of the state had a couple days ago. Some places had 5 inches, some 18 inches, somewhere in that, up in Catskills and the Adirondacks, the upper Adirondacks, if you want to call it that. But the Catskill area and middle of the state, Utica, Oneonta, that area of the state was full of snow. And Buffalo has had the reputation within the state to have the most snow, and we had no lake effect. We had nothing like that. Usually, I talked about a couple days ago, our lake effect snow and our worst moments of snow is usually between the months of November to February. Uh, Usually, November is the worst of it. Um, could be October. Whenever the lake is the warmest, that's when we usually get the lake effect snow. Other than that, it's just seasonal and then very cold in January, February. Luckily, I was in Florida for a couple months and I missed the big snow day that everybody had up here, and I didn't have to worry about shoveling my driveway. And I have a great neighbor, so they took care of shoveling some of it at least before I came back, and it kind of melted anyway. So I missed that great opportunity to shovel snow this summer, and I don't miss any of it. Good times. What else is happening? Not too much. I'll probably make this show short because I got some appointments today. I got some things I got to do, preparation for media for church and also for the Great Lakes Christian Film Festival. Make sure you just spread the links and the love throughout the. Good morning, Mother. Good to see you again. Spread the links. Spread the news about the program, and things will be getting better and better every moment. You just got to stay tuned to it. Um, but I got a lot of administrative stuff to catch up on. Gonna be so I got some interviews and meetings throughout the area today and next week to lock down our venue spaces, the hotel rooms for our guests, and then it's basically fundraising from here on out for the festival. We want to bring some pretty big names in to help, get people's interest in attending this festival, and then preparation for making a better program than we did last year. Last year we kind of like we came out of the pandemic. We weren't sure how we're going to conduct our festival, and we only had like 3 months to plan for it. Not even 2 months. Once New York State lifted the ban on, you know, locking us down and wearing masks and having to be vaccinated for events, then it was like open season. But it took us 2 months. Now we got 5 months. We had planned, which is a little bit more cushion for us. So less and less restrictions, and now we're almost back to normal before the pandemic, with a few exceptions. But man, what a transition we made from 2019, which was arguably our best year we've ever had for the festival. The momentum was building. It was going very, very rapidly. It's been growing. And then, boom, okay, we had nobody show up physically 2020. And we had rented for 2 days the Millennium Hotel. And we had a few stragglers locally that came, but it was social distancing. It was sporadic people coming in and out that were around the region. We had big groups of people that were supposed to come and couldn't come because travel advisories. Then last year, we only had 2 months to plan. So, but it was still, we had a great time. We did it in East Aurora this year, and a couple that lives there suggested it, and we just had the ball rolling. And the Aurora Theater was our home base for big premieres, and then we had I-61 Church was the hub for checking in, ticketing, merchandise, all that other stuff. We had red carpet event over at the theater. Just was a great weekend last year. First weekend of August. This year we're doing it September 7th through the 11th. That's basically, booking your rooms if you're coming right after Labor Day and right before the 9/11 memorial. I got a sneeze coming on. Bear with me. It's teasing me. Okay, so I updated the website all last night. I'm a little tired because I was up pretty late. But I got all the information, the basic information, and then we just kind of from this point we just kind of build, each page for this year's event. So East Aurora, we're going to have it again at the Aurora Theater. Is going to be one of our main venues, and then we're going to lock down the Hampton Inn. They got two rooms that can hold 100 people each. We're going to have screenings in both of those rooms. Plus, so we're going to have three screens, at least three screens, and we got several places for lodging. And that Saturday will be the Taste of East Aurora. So what I'll do, I want to show you. Let's see, attend lodging, dining. So I'm going to go dining. I just updated this page. It's an awesome list now. And it basically, I got a link for the recommendations for places to eat in town and a link to their Google page, basically, or the Google Maps listing of that. So, like Pizza and Wings in East Aurora, not all of Western New York, but East Aurora, Bar Bill Tavern is the most highly recommended place to eat wings, especially in East Aurora. So now that's on their map as they click it from their phones, their tablets, their desktops. Doesn't matter where they click it from. It's going to give them the Google Map direction to go to that place, which is just it's really like a mile, not even like a half a mile from where the venue is. As you can see, this is the Aurora Theater, and that's right on the corner, almost on the corner of Olean Street and East Main Street. This the 400 right here dumps right here onto what they call 20A, which is also a name for the route for East Main Street right there going through downtown East Aurora. But we have all these places to eat within that little section here, from this little roundabout. You have Bar Bill, and I think they had a McDonald's here, but I think they're closing that. Something else is happening there. So, anyways, Bar Bill all the way over to the Aurora Theater, and then we have the Hampton Inn is right there. Everything is right. Everything's going to be pretty much centered right in this little block here, though. Even though the Bar Bill Tavern is just a mile down the road, it's walking distance, but it'll take you a little bit. But everything's going to be happening right in this little circle here of Olean Street on Olean to Elm Street, right on East Main Street in East Aurora. Now, we might or we might not use or have I-61 Church, which we did have last year, and I'm pretty certain that That's not going to be an option this year, but hopefully we can. But right next to where it was is Homegrown Kitchen, which is like a nice little place to eat. So I got all these recommendations right on the website. You go to glcff.com, you click on the attend tab, and you got registration, tickets, venue, lodging, and dining. And you click that dining, you see all these different recommendations. So, Tim Hortons, of course, is going to be the staple for local coffee. But right here in East Aurora, there's four great options for cafe or health type food. We got restaurants. And then the really big deal, this is what I'm excited about. The Saturday the 10th, East Aurora, the Chamber of Commerce, they host the Taste of East Aurora on that Saturday right before 9/11 from 9 to 2. So our people who visit from out of town are going to have an option, and I think they have about 20 restaurants that might participate as official restaurants for the Taste of East Aurora. But this is such a great event, and we're proud to be able to use, you know, that town for our event during this big event that draws hundreds, if not thousands, of people from around the region. People fly in from out of town, from other parts of the country, even. And so it's going to give us exposure for our event because we'll be handing out flyers. But also, we're going to have the guests that are already coming in for our event to give them some exposure to what cuisine is in the area of East Aurora. So, pretty excited about that. So, the Taste of East Aurora, big event. We also have a flea market that goes on throughout the weekend. But Taste of East Aurora is September. Okay, this is last year's date. So they're going to update all this information pretty soon because they just had a meeting about it yesterday. So the chamber is going to go through that. And then also we have this East Aurora flea market you could check out, which is about 2 miles from downtown, maybe even less. Yeah, about 2 miles from the Aurora Theater going eastward. They have this big, huge flea market, 20-minute drive from my house. That's what it's saying. So, yeah, two miles down the road, you have all this place to go hang out. And we had a guest that came in, Cheryl Felicia Road, last year, who bragged about her monkey's bag that she bought from one of the vintage stores right in East Aurora, and she was so ecstatic. She's I guess she knew Mickey Dolenz, but she was so happy that she found something like this um, for her collection, and I think she uses it. But she's coming back too. Sheriff Felicia Rhodes. Cheryl was a speaker at a workshop we did last year. We had a couple different types of workshops last year, and it drew a lot of people. But this one, because she worked at Second City at one point in her career, and she'd been on television in many guest spots, her experience was what drew a lot of people to see just her at this event. But she's got a lot of experience, and she's coming back this year. We're setting her up to do another festival workshop. Plus, she's got a short film she presented last year, and then she'll present a new one this year. So, but her workshop last year was called "Why Laughter Can Make You More Productive at Work." And it's basically our clean comedy workshop. She hosted that. That was amazing. People from all over, all walks of life, not just because she's got all that experience, but because people in our area, they generally are interested in being a part of a big event. So last year we had Greg Robbins, his son. They just call themselves the. Last year we had Greg Robbins. Okay, there it is. The fight choreography for film workshop was uh, the Robbins stunt team, is what they call themselves. Greg and Gregory Robbins, father and son, plus they had another special guest. But they do a lot of fight choreography for film, and they train photographers, cinematographers how to film as they're doing their stunts. So that was a great workshop. Don't know what their availability is. Excuse me, their availability is next year. But and we did an open casting call where we had 4 people, like an America's Got Talent type feel, that were kind of like judging or critiquing, giving positive criticism about monologues and different things that were presented at that workshop. So we did that at the Aurora Theater, and that was a great turnout. We had 12 contestants or casting attendees. I don't know what you'd call them. Just people who are interested in the open casting. About 12 people and 3 panelists. So that was just wonderful. I was happy to be able to put that together, bring some people together that are curious as to what they can do in this industry. So we also had an industry panel. It's 4 people were involved in that were attending. 4 filmmakers. Cheryl was amongst them. Richard Rossi was another. What else? We had a couple other people names. Stacy Holmes, who was an editor from Virginia, and Mark Steele, who was a producer from Oregon. So the 4 of them were panelists for our industry panel that Friday. Screenwriting workshop, our local regional um, favorite, Rhonda Parker, and Pastor Joel and his church, I-61 Church, had a worship session from 8 till 12. A lot of people got to enjoy that as well. Give them some encouragement. Plus, we had our award ceremony. So there's a lot more. We did honor Gavin Mcleod, and Gavin Mcleod was a special actor for decades. I mean, probably 6 decades. He had television, film accolades. A lot of people remember him as Captain Steubing from The Love Boat in the 80s. Amongst other, okay, what else he did? Mary Tyler Moore Show, that was the big one. Before that, and then the Christian films he started doing with the Cristiano brothers, Rich and David, The Secrets of Jonathan Sperry, which he was the most proud of back in the day. But we honored him last year, so this year we're going to let you guys know within the next month or two who we're going to have as an honorary actor, or it could be a different position as a crew member. So, or it could be 2 different people for 2 different things. One crew, one cast. Honoree today this year. So you see, I got a lot going on. Got a lot planning. I'm excited about it. Just cross your fingers, pray for us. One cool thing I just want to talk about. I've been getting this last 2 weeks has been unique in a lot of ways. I'm getting these divine appointments. Okay, and I kind of talked maybe a couple of them, but one night, me and my daughter waiting for our table in the waiting area. A young man my daughter waved hi to, was touched, came up to us and just said that, you know, my daughter Mariah touched him and just wanted to say hi, and said that nobody ever notices him. And I was like, wow, that's great. That's a beautiful thing. My daughter's got that. My daughter has the personality to not care what people think. That's what I love about her. But she's so kind to people. She likes people. She says hi to people all over the place, no matter who. So she touched this young man, and we got his information. We invited him to church, and basically we just shared the love of Christ to him. And yesterday I get a phone call, and we did it live. We prayed for this lady in St. Louis who watched me on a interview I did in September with TCT, uh, talking about the Great Lakes Christian Film Festival, and she noticed that, and right away she contacted me about a book she was working on and stuff she wants to be a part of creatively in the Christian film and entertainment world. And so now she's planning on coming to our festival this year. It's just so interesting. But she had some things. We prayed for her. We'd actually prayed live on the air as she was talking about these situations. We prayed a little bit more afterwards, off air. So that that was interesting. It's just interesting connection that you make sometimes with people. But yesterday was even weirder. My daughter, who has her own cell phone, she's 20. She's allowed to have it, but she misplaced it somewhere, and we could have been in my house somewhere. So called it in the phone. I was trying to call the number that I thought was her phone, and I ended up connecting to the previous phone number that she had a month, 2 months ago, and she no longer. We turned that line off and got a new one. And the guy that picked up, uh, I don't know how to explain this. He's going through something. His mother is in hospice. He was her caretaker for several years. Something that she had physical situations, all because I called a wrong number and I connected to this guy, and he just it was like he was hurting. He was crying out. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. What a opportunity. So, man, I just listened and heard him out, prayed with him, encouraged him. So, yeah, whoever cheerful Muller on Twitch, I'm not probably not going to that site. So this young man was hurting, and I prayed with him, and he was encouraged. Invited him to church. He's in the Buffalo area, and I don't know how to explain that. I don't know how to explain something like that happens more frequently than ever now. We went out the street last Friday walking around, and I video captured our team going out witnessing to the neighborhood. But that's on our church website, a Facebook page, if you want to check that out. But we're getting more and more of this. The world is hurting, and I know that, and everybody's hurting. But because I've been on pause for the last couple of years going to school, my focus was really about my personal career or personal development, where I'm going next. But this is a season, and I posted that. Um, I'm gonna be posting it, actually. It's on my go to ShawnPGreene.com. You'll see on the blog or the news or whatever you want to call it. It's gonna be on there next Wednesday morning, kind of talking about a couple other things. Uh, Actually, let me look at it, see what I got here. Post. I don't know if I put it up there. No, I haven't put that up here yet, but I'll have some posts. But it just seems that God is using me in this season for helping people, for praying with people. It's a new season. It's a new day. That's one of the songs people sing at churches. That's what season I'm in right now. The new season of praying for people, praying with people. You know, and it just happens. It's not something I'm looking for. The you least expect it. So when the opportunity comes, I pause and I wait, and whatever God wants me to do at that moment, that's what I end up doing. So, uh, blown away, blown away. I cannot explain to you what this means for me to be able to be used by God in this capacity. So, whatever He's preparing me for, But it's really not just about me. It's about the people that are out there that have needs that need to be prayed for, who are hurting, suffering, whatever it is. God, Jesus wants to heal these people. Jesus wants to share his love toward them. And he's using me in this time of my life now to do this for this season. So what a joyous time it is. And as hard as it is for most of us in life to get through to life, God gives us these pockets of opportunities to really get blessed and to really bless others. And it's all about for his glory. It's not for nothing else. So, anyways, that's really all I have. I didn't have a whole lot of information to give out today because I'm still developing our event. But that USS the Sullivans ship, we're just hoping that ship gets you know get all the water out of it, get it lifted back up, and get that repaired. I mean, it really needs to go into like a dry dock situation, but we don't have that kind of facility here in Western New York that I know of. We do have a small Coast Guard duty station on the other side of that canal, and we have that small little naval park, but it's not a dry dock or like a huge shipping port. You know what I mean? Uh, like it used to be. The Great Lakes. I mean, Buffalo was the spot. The canal that connected from Hudson River and just outside of Albany all the way to us through the state of New York was the Erie Canal, which was a huge undertaking. But that Erie Canal was what connected pretty much the whole world to the Great Lakes. Now the St. Lawrence Seaway is a big part of that, but the Erie Canal had a lock on that passage for shipping. Of course, railway took over and bypassed Buffalo, and a lot of our industry died. So that's not good. But we still have Cheerios smell in our city from General Mills. So we're happy about that. At any rate, ShawnPGreene.com. Check it out. We got all these links. We got all the projects that I've done. You can look at my website. I got home, I got projects, I got podcasts. I did some gaming, haven't done any yet in a while. More about me as Shawn Patrick Greene, plus my alter ego or nickname, Fudge. All the posts are right here on this page that you're seeing now. And lately, I've just been posting about the podcast and other sites that I administer or I work on. So, like I said, the big news about Holy Cultures, I posted on Christian Rhythmic, and then I have all these other Christian hip hop type sites, fantasy sports, and then the Christian films market. Those are the ones that I manage. So, see, I'm busy. I'm very busy. But, and you get a chance, go check out some of my projects, the films I did. I also got a little link on stuff I did for UB specific, some projects that were part of my grading and all that. But the film projects I did were basically my independent stuff, or I was a part of somebody else's project, and IMDb is there, and which is the internet movie database. That's it. That's all I got today, man. I got no real any major announcements. Everything's going to be coming out, rolling out next couple weeks, and I'll get to that very shortly. And you like my little fudge background. So it looks like I'm actually in a bedroom, but the way I'm positioned, it looks like I'm hovering over it. Or I don't know how that looks to you. So a little funky. So anyway, Shawn Patrick Greene, ShawnPGreene.com. Keep it locked. Any questions, feel free to call, text. And don't spam me with all your weird email addresses or you're trying to cheerful lemur. I don't know who that is, but I have a suspicion. So either way, Sean P. Greene, keep it locked. Thanks, Mom. It is a nice background, isn't it? Fudge. I wish I actually had this in my house. I want that whole bedding for my bed whenever I get a chance. Maybe someday. So thanks again, Mom, for tuning in. You're always #1 fan. You're the best. And we'll see you shortly. I don't know when. Sometime this between now and September, we should be making our way up there again or down there again. And I'll keep you posted. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Go to the ShawnPGreene.com website. Get all the links. Remember, we also have an audio uploads to Mixcloud if you want to listen to it on that platform. And we have YouTube, Twitch, Twitter live, video wise, and then you can always watch it later on those platforms. And you only have 14 days from the time we broadcast on Twitch before it drops out. You too, Mom. You have a blessed day. ShawnPGreene.com, The Shawn P. Greene Show. Keep it locked.